Hey guys, we're making something a little bit different today. I have, you may know if you've been watching any of my recent videos, that I've been trying to use up the vast majority of my fabric stash by like assigning fabrics to patterns that I already have. And I was going through it. I am keeping track. They're in a notepad. I was going through my stash and I found that I had an abundance of this gorgeous, flowy black satin. And I was just like, that's gotta be a dress. That's gotta be a dress. I also found this gorgeous spider web netting. It's fairly soft, so I don't mind having it against my skin. But it's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I was trying to figure out what patterns I was going to use to put it through, and then I found this one. You may recognize this pattern from my Supergirl cosplay. It's making a reappearance, but with a little bit of a twist. Instead of making this one, I will be combining these two, so it's with the main bodice will be and skirt will be in the black satin, whereas the yoke as well as the sleeves from this one will be in this. I'm really excited about that. So I was talking to my dad the other day, and I basically went, Daddy, would I be silly if I turned this dress into a ball gown? I won't have anywhere to wear it, and I don't really need one. And I was like, that's what you're trained for. You were trained to take this pattern and that pattern, whatever other one you want, and turn it into something fantastic. Besides, you never know, you may end up being invited to a black tie event. Who knows? So, after that, I deemed myself to have been given the go-ahead by, let's face it, the most important man in my life. Now, I know that I usually stick to practical clothing, like everyday or cosplays, but make it my style. So this is a little bit outside my comfort zone. Whereas I also want to make I'm not going to use the skirt pattern from that one, because I want to make it so that it has a slight train. I've never made a dress with a train before. So this is going to be a little bit of an experiment. However, I do have a pattern for the skirt that I can adapt. So I have this pattern. I believe that it came from a magazine. One of my friends was giving away patterns from her stash that she wasn't going to use. So, I nabbed it. But as you can see, this is a high-low hem. And my brain went, okay, I can lengthen that skirt so the front is at the floor, and lengthen the back maybe even more, and maybe even flare it out a little bit more, and we shall see. Now I am excited to see if I'm able to pull this off. I've got plenty of fabric. I do need to adjust the pattern and make up a mock-up of the bodice, because if you You know what? I'm gonna put in a picture of my Supergirl cosplay here. And as you can maybe see, the neck is gaping a little bit. I'm not too happy about that. I kind of felt like I was about to, a good stiff wind and the whole thing will... Anyway, so I need to adapt the pattern a little bit for that. And then do a mock-up. But, I'm excited to get started. I need to go find some fabric to do the mock-up in. And I think I'm going to change as well. I'm wearing a skirt that's not the most comfortable, and this top is, I've just made this top and it's kind of driving me nuts. So I'm going to get into something a little bit more comfier. Okay, so I've got the pieces for the mock-up done. They're all the same fabric. I've got leftover Christmas fabric that I didn't have a use for, so being used now. Anyway, as you can see, I took out the 2 inches from the neck, and I basically drew from the dart to the neck and closed it off 2 inches. I drew in a new dart, closed it off, as you can see here. This piece is from the I just drew around it after I did it on the this one, so that I wouldn't have to cut out the other one. But I had to obviously draw this one out, and as I closed that one, I opened up that one. Do you like it, Cheryl? Do you think it's alright? I think it has her approval so far. She's making herself comfortable on one of my other pattern pieces. And I've just cut out the back at the moment, just to see what I need to do on this one, because I'm not really sure what I need to do on the back. And I'm just going to be doing, for the mock-up, it will just be the bodice. When it comes to skirt, I'm not adding that on. I'm using a different pattern for that, so that I can make that big, long, lacy. Not lacy. Anyway, so I'm gonna now go ahead and sort out these darts, because as you can see, I went straight through and then just put a piece of paper underneath and drew the straight lines, so that I can make it as even as possible. But I'm gonna put this together and I will come back with that. I am going to be putting in a zip. I think what I'm going to do is put a zip in upside down, because the section that needs to be bigger is at the waist, because it closes in at the waist. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna get on and do that. All right, see you in a minute. All right, that has now been pinned out, but I still feel like this is a little gapey. So I'm going to pin it together there and see. No, I'm going to do it off camera because I'm going to need to sit down to do this. Alright, so I'm going to pin it at the neck and see if I need to take that out as well. I think that's slightly better. It's laying where it's supposed to now. So this is why I should have made a toile of the Supergirl costume. Problem was I didn't know this fabric was in there, so yeah. Oh well, maybe one day I'll go over and remake it. No promises though. Right, so I'm going to see what I can do to transfer these onto a new bodice. Luckily it's just the back and I've still got some of this fabric left. So yeah, I'm gonna make the changes and we'll meet back here when I have the hopefully made the corrections. Alright, so I have drawn out the original. Hello, Shelley. Somehow I swear she always knows when I'm about to start filming. Anyway, I've drawn out the original and I have added in the amounts where the pleats are to be, and slit open this, you know, where the darts would be, and I've slit open this one. So I've now folded that one, so that's like that so far. I'm going to sticky tape that. I have my camera in my hand, so I can't do it right now. But I'm also going to fold over this one, and this will come out even wider. And then after that, I shall take another piece of paper, put it underneath, and fill out the space. And obviously chop off anything that like is over. Hope that explains what I'm doing so far. I will be rounding out this a bit more, because as it is, I don't really like it. So I'm going to round it out, and that will be that. Okay, I'll show you it once I have everything in place. So that's roughly what it looks like. I'm hoping that this won't look as weird when it's, you know, on me, because that's a really weird shape. But in the end, I want to be able to use this as basically a bodice block, so that I can then just change it however I want. But what I'm going to do for now is cut this out. I'm going to use, trying to figure out what's going to be the straight grain. I think, honestly, I'm going to use, that was the original straight grain. So I think I'm going to use this one as the straight grain. And I'm going to cut it out of what's left of that fabric. And then I'm going to take everything off of here and try to sew it back together, and we shall see. Okay, how's it look? Looks a lot better. Alright, and the side seams are going down exactly where they need to, which is good. That's not a crease, that is actually just my muscle there. It looks a bit weird because that's the muscle that gets used a lot when I'm wheeling. So it's the same on both sides. Okay, I am happy with that. So I'm now going to use those pieces to make the the bodice section of my dress. And then I simply need to figure out the skirt section. I'm thinking that I might make up an additional skirt in a different fabric, you know, one that I'll actually want to wear, in the same shape that I'm thinking of, so I can try it out and see if I can actually move, because I would be gutted if I made this and then it's like I'm tripping over. That would be gutting. So I'm really happy with my bodice block. The sleeves should be absolutely fine. They will be shortened because, you know, I'm tiny. But everything is going well so far. Okay, I'm going to stop for tonight because it's really quite late. So, I will pick back up when I start figuring out the skirt section. Okay. Okay, I've cut out my pieces, waistband, front and back. I've also lengthened it by 8 inches. To be honest, that was all the fabric I had. So if it doesn't quite reach the floor, it's because I did not have enough fabric. I've got the pockets, the back, front, and the waistband. I've done it in these 2 fabrics, mostly because I had no idea what to use this particular fabric for, and it looks pretty over this one. And I'm not really a pink girl, but this is sort of like a dark dusky pink, so it's alright. And I really do like the gold detail all the way through. I've also tried my best to ensure that this pattern goes the same way on both pieces. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to sew these together and see how the skirt works up. Basically, this is a workable mock-up, a wearable mock-up, I mean. So I should have a finished garment by the end of this. And then we will see what I need to do with the black one, to what changes I need to make in order to get the response I want. Alright. Okay, I have finished, well, putting the pieces together, because I had to flatline them, so, ow, sorry about that. So, as you can see, there's satin on one side, and it's sewn onto the very pretty taffeta, not taffeta, what, this chiffon, might be, I don't know. Anyway, so, I've got the backs there, waistband there, and the front is over here. And I obviously haven't put this onto the pocket because it's not needed, because it's not really going to be seen. So I now just need to start putting the pocket pieces on, and then I will be able to put the skirt together in like the traditional way, and obviously like hem it. And we'll see how this looks and see whether I need to do any alterations to the pattern. I may need to, because it's not particularly wide. I may end up putting this into like panels. I don't know. Alright, well, the longer I stand up, the more likely it is that I will fall down. So I'm going to go do that before gravity kicks in. Okay. Okay, so I've done the mock-up. It works quite well. I've got a couple of petticoats underneath it to give it a little bit more boost. I decided to put on the bodice to go with it, see how the shape works. I'm thinking that I'm going to end up pleating instead of gathering the skirt, at which point I might make I don't know whether I want this bit to be bigger, but I do want the train to be a little bit bigger. As you can see, it just follows behind ever so slightly. I do want that to be a little bit more dramatic. And I do like how this skirt has turned out. So I got a brand new skirt in the mix, as well as the dress I'm going to be making. I'm thinking on the back that I'm going to extend the train by at least a foot. It all depends on how much fabric I have at the end of the day. So I'm probably not going to cut it out now because it's gone past 10 o'clock. So I may wait till tomorrow to cut that out and start sewing it. I am not sure anymore whether I'm going to put sleeves on. My sister, who I spoke to earlier, suggested maybe like gloves instead, so that I can take them on, or anything like that. I do not know yet. What I think I'm going to do is make the bodice how I was originally going to make it, and maybe tack on the sleeves on one side to see how they look, and then I will come back and we will make a choice. I'm gonna come back tomorrow when we are cutting out. Alright. Okay, I have all the pieces cut out. Charlie is giving her seal of approval. So we have the front and the back. I've added on the same amount as I did for the other skirt. On the back bit, however, right at the back seam, I elongated that by, I think it was 15 inches. I've also cut out the front and the back, the sleeves and the yoke. That is the front facing. I have no idea what Charlie is currently eating. She better not be in... Charlie... Okay, sorry about that. Charlie was eating something she should not be. Anyway, I've got the pockets. And to give the train a little bit more volume, I've cut out some 40-inch gores, basically triangles, with like a rounded edge at the bottom, so like the section of a circle, but it's 40 inches in length. I just did like the full width of the fabric that I can manage, with basically what I had left. So I'm gonna start putting like the main pieces together, and then we will figure out whether... Charlie, cut it out. Hello for the guy. You're lucky you're cute, baby girl. Anyway, I'm gonna put like the main dress together and then see if I need the gore at the end. We'll see how much I need after the back. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave the back open, maybe baste it closed, and then we'll see how much it actually swooshes. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is put the bodice section together, and I'll show you when that's done. Okay, I've assembled the bodice. I haven't added the sleeves on, as you can see, but so far I quite like it. I had to, due to the fabric, due to this netting, I had to take the neckline down a little bit, because honestly it was up here. It was literally cutting into my neck. It's odd that the mock-up didn't do it, but this one did, so I've just, you know, clipped it. I think that looks alright. obviously I need to add the sleeves. I'm thinking when it comes to the sleeves, I know I've got the long ones, but I'm thinking of making the short version and then basting them both in, like one on each side, and seeing which looks better. I may end up doing that after I've done the skirt section, because that is necessary now. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Yeah. Let me get this off. There we go. It sticks a little bit to the dress I'm currently wearing. But as you can see, I've got the bodice all made up. I also wanted to show you the front facing. I obviously finished this raw edge, and as I was sewing them together, I placed this netting between the two layers, and then top stitched it down, as well as finishing the edge. And I also clipped at the point so that it you know, works properly, because it is one of those, so it obviously has to separate the. I'm probably not explaining this properly. I apologize. I have had my meds today, and they are affecting my head, and it's a little bit like. Anyway, I'm going to put this section aside for now, and I'm going to get the main section of the skirt and start with doing the pockets. So the front and the back, adding the pockets, do up the side seams, and then I am going to figure out I may pin it together to see how much of a train I have before doing anything else. Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So I will come back here after I've done that. Okay. Alright, so I have secured like the main sections of the skirt together, and as you can see, I've pinned them onto what I'm currently wearing, because well, the skirt needs pleating, and I will be doing that straight onto the straight onto the bodice. So obviously, like, I need to gather up the fabric before I can do anything. So I've pinned it onto what I'm currently wearing. We have a little bit of a train at the back, as you can see. I'm thinking that I'm going to make a petticoat to go under this. I have some tulle as well as some softer fabric so that the tulle doesn't touch my skin, because that's not exactly comfortable. Also, I am going to add in the triangular gauze at the back to give it a little bit more volume. However, it's getting late and I got very absorbed in my sewing, so it's past midnight now. I need to go to bed because I've got a lot to do tomorrow. But think I'm going to put this to one side, and tomorrow I'm going to start working on the um, working on the petticoat, and I will keep you abreast of how that goes. Alright. Okay, I've sorted out the skirt. It's wide enough now with the train. It looks fantastic. You'll see it in the final reveal. I've also pleated it onto the bodice. I've used, let me get it up. Come here, you. I've used box pleats. They seem to be the easiest and neatest way that I could figure out to do it. Oh, don't want that on there. Oops. Got stuck to it. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I've done box pleats because I thought that would look neat, and it also gets it on there really nicely. I'm now working on the hem, and when I tried it on, the train sort of collapsed on itself. While I'm also going to, I'm working on a petticoat at the same time. I'll probably put it in right after this section. I have some what they call horsetail braid. Now, this isn't made from actual horsehair. This is a synthetic kind. It's, as you can see, basically a wire mesh that can, like plastic mesh that can go around seams and go around curves and things like that. And from the little I know, I've never used this stuff before. So it should, from my research, it should hold the hem like firmer in place, sort of like boning does when you put that into a bodice. So what I've done is, starting at the center back, I have folded over a small section. Oh well, I'm actually wondering how big that is. Let me just grab my tape measure. It's about 5 millimeters, so about ½ centimeter, folded over and pinned on. I have gotten past the center front, so I'm on the second half of it now, and I'm hoping I have enough. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go and get some more. But you know, here's hoping. Because I didn't actually know how big my hemline was gonna be, because I actually bought this before I cut it out. So I didn't know how much I was gonna need. But as you can see, I'm just folding over it and then pinning, and then what I will be doing after that is folding it over on the edge and then sewing it like that, so that it then holds it in place. And I'm hoping that that will give me a really nice hefty hem, because otherwise this fabric is it's just so lightweight. It doesn't really have much structure. We will also see what it looks like when I have managed to get the petticoat underneath. Alright, so I'll see you in a minute to go over the petticoat. Well, it'll be a minute for you. It'll be a little bit longer for me. Because I'm going to pin this and then sew it very, very carefully just over, so that the whole thing is enclosed. I'm going to be very, very gentle with it. But next time you see me in this video, I will be doing the petticoat. Alright, see you there. With the main dress almost finished, I need to get on with the petticoat. So that's what we're about to do. I picked up, I think it was 3 meters of tulle to make the petticoat so that the skirt stands out decently, because at the moment it looks a little sad and I really want it to look fabulous. So it needs a petticoat, like it really needs a petticoat. So what I'm about to do now is I've spread it out and I've measured from my waist to where I think the petticoat can go to, which is 32 inches. Hi, look who's joined us. Hi. And of course she is like on the fabric. You're lucky you're cute. Anyway, so I'm going to cut them into lengths of 31 inches, so that I can then put them together, like put 2 of the panels together to make the petticoat, and then I will gather it to the waistband. I think that's where I'm gonna go. I'm also gonna do it in like a few layers. So first job is to cut this. I don't work with tulle very often, so wish me luck, please, because this might just do my head in. Okay. Cat break. What do you think of the fabric? Is it alright? Does it pass inspection? Well, she's been sitting there for the last 10 minutes, so not quite comfy. Okay. Okay, so I had enough of this to do 6 strips, so that is 3 layers. But because, this is tulle and it's going to be a little bit itchy against my leg, and I really don't want that, I've found some lining fabric, and I'm just going to do 2 strips of this so that I can have like a base layer. Also, I'm going to be putting using this for the waistband as well. So yeah, but as I was saying, sorry about that. I'm going to be putting this as the waistband, as also the lining to the petticoat. So I'm going to cut that to the same length and then cut the waistband. I've got the 4 layers of the petticoat like assembled. I've got the 3 layers of the tulle all pretty much assembled, as well as this lining layer. And I wanted to talk about how I've put them together. Basically put one end of the fabric together, and on the other end it has an 8-inch gap. That's so that it goes over my hips, and that way I can actually get it together when I'm sewing it on. Now, next thing I'm going to be doing is, I've also hemmed it. I just folded it up by about a centimetre and zigzagged it. No one's going to see this. Not really. It's going to be all underneath. So it didn't need to be all fancy-dancy and stuff. So I've also got the waistband done. So the next step will be to gather all of this down onto here. So it will be this one at the bottom with the other 3 layers on top. and I'm gonna get on with that now. Quick update, I've finished the skirt and I've also sewn on a ribbon tie so that I can put it around my wrist if I need to maneuver properly. This skirt looks great. I'm not going to show you it now, you'll see it in the reveal, but it looks suitably dramatic and it's gorgeous and I love it. And I'm going to get on with the petticoat now. Oh, I'm also going to be changing up the sleeves a little bit. My dad made a really good suggestion and I'll cover that when I sort out the sleeves. Alright, I've got the waistband on my petticoat. I also went and zigzagged over this because it was an unholy mess. So, all the layers are assembled. Haha. It's quite big and flowy, and fingers crossed it will actually hold my skirt of the dress out. So now to finish it off, I'm going to be doing this next bit by hand, and I will be, so I've got my box next to me. This is just, it's stuffing basically. I make some toys, not very many, but some, and like some pillows sometimes. So that's what that is for. It's for the bits that I can't really use anything else. But the next thing that I'll be doing will be folding this over by 1.5 centimeters, 5/8, and then sewing it down to there to enclose it like that. I think that I might finish this by hand. I've not quite made up my mind, but doing that, and then I just need to run a ribbon through, and I'll come back and show you what the how the petticoat looks without the skirt on it. You know, without the dress, because I'm saying the dress for the reveal, because that's always finished now. Okay. Here we go. I've got the petticoat done. I'm trying to not hit the kitty with... Oh, there we go. Okay. Perfect kitten in the forefront. So I've got the petticoat done and it comes out quite fast, so I'm actually really glad about that. I haven't tried sitting down in it yet, but it does up nicely, as you can see, for the ribbon at the front, and there's a little bit of gap so that I can at least deal with things, but I think it looks all right. Okay, as you can see, we have a sleeve. We obviously don't have one on this side. Also, the zip is in. Now, I called my dad yesterday. Honestly, for a straight guy, he has amazing taste, especially when it comes to my clothing. Like, this literally was my dad's suggestion. Like, I was just going to do a normal sleeve, and then my dad commented about... Sorry, I have a t-shirt on underneath. He commented about having a section bare. He's seen that on some of my other clothing that I bought back in my 20s. You know, back when I was still buying clothes instead of making them. But anyway. So what I have done is I took the long sleeve pattern and I chopped the top part off. It's as simple as that. I've got the other one here. So, as you can see, it's still got part of the underarm, but the rest had a deep chop. And it's falling like that. And you know what? I honestly love it. I've just obviously got to sew this one on. And I also have a black bias binding that you can see here. Obviously, it's satin to, you know, match the dress. if I didn't make it outside, it would look a bit, if I didn't have it made outside, it would look a bit stupid, wouldn't it? Anyway, so now I'm obviously going to repeat it on this side. I wasn't sure if I really liked it, but honestly, I just think it's so darn cute. And so I now need to bind this entire hole because there is still part of the, this is still raw. And while this doesn't fray, this does. A lot. Like a lot of a lot. So I will be doing that as well as on the other side. And then I will finish sewing this down 100% because it's only machine sewed on one side at the moment. I'm going to be hand sewing it down. And then honestly, other than giving this dress a really good ironing, because satin really wrinkles. So other than that, I need to give it a really good ironing. But I am going to see you in the reveal. See you there. I hope you liked how the dress turned out. I honestly thought it turned out great. I was well happy with the petticoat, and overall, I think I want to make more in different colors, like green and like a crimson, or maybe like a wine red. I don't know. Ooh, maybe a dark blue. Or I could go really, really nuts and go pink. I don't know. Can you see me wearing pink? Nah, not really. Not much of a pink girl. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the dress. Comment what you think of it and any ideas you have for me in the future. I hope you like and subscribe and have a wonderful day.